Haha, you. Hello, everyone. You didn't expect this would be today, too, did you? But it is. We are back another Devil early. This is a legal broadcast.
Legal, not illegal. The birds are all right today.
What? What are birds?
Illegal.
Oh, haha. I was like, why is Adla sick?
Padla is not fly as hell. Also, I will need a side stream.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
You're so very welcome.
Okay. I am ready.
As am I in, like, 10 seconds. Okay, now I'm ready. I will warn you, I'm still slightly high, but I'm gonna be very normal, I promise. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa. Happy everything. Every festivity is welcome here.
Unfortunately, we will be stopping before we reach the Morgan birthday.
It's okay. So last time, we watched the amazing prologue of Morgan killing people. I got very wet, and now we're at the bar that we forced Sarah to work at.
We killed people and stole a very important mask, which is, may or may not come back to haunt us.
Morgan can handle anything. It's a well-stocked bar. Got tea and coffee too, if that's what you're into. Nice ambience, soft lighting, warm on a chill night and cool on a hot day. Now all that's left to do is wait for the customers to stream in. Any day now. Who would not want to come here? This place is... Honestly, the way everything has a yellow... Actually, the way everything has a gold silhouette, it does look exactly like Deus Ex Human Revolutions, which is like -5 points, so I can understand why it's empty, but it's still cool. You understand, right?
Yes, but have you considered? It's an underground bar in a city that's constantly flooding all the basements.
Fuck, you're right. It is dystopian. It is a Deus Ex. Fuck. Ryan must have searched for months to find the affordable underground real estate that wasn't flooded. Or already filled to the brim with server farms. Putting Sarah on clean knew it was a good call. Maybe the tiling in here starts to grime up, could start feeling like a subway station bathroom real fast. Oh. Cat! Almost forgot the most important thing. Oh my gosh. It's a lucky cat. Neko Maneko. If I know my thing correct. Maneki Neko. Meow. Meow.
Did you say something, Adam?
No.
I suddenly got the strong impression that there was something you wanted to say.
Don't know what you're talking about.
As you say,
Oh.
check your phone.
What? Oh.
Check your phone. Check the store. It should be the last item at the bottom.
Yes!
That's how you unlock that now.
Oh my fucking god.
By the way,
Wait, that's High Roller Charm? It's Sarah Bunny.
what?
What?
I have completed episode 2 on High Roller.
Wow, lucky you.
I decided to do this against my better judgment, and went into work today with 2 hours of sleep as a result.
Dude, you can't do that.
I knew it would be a pretty chill day where I literally would just sit at a desk and do nothing. And get
Right.
time and a half.
If they see you asleep at your desk on the camera, you're gonna get in big trouble.
Yeah, that's why I stand. Also,
That's-
no cameras on the desks.
That is torture.
Do
Reinhardt?
not,
Huh?
do not worry.
Too late. Reinhardt
Fair.
Boss Diamani. June 15th, 184 centimeters, 85 kilograms, A positive. Occupation, owner and operator of Kintsugi. Likes libraries, boating, and fast learners. Dislikes marketing, solicitors, and signing things. Collects ancient coins. Pet peeve. Web pages that take too long to load. That's so real. Don't mention speed at which Kintsugi site loads. I think I'm ready to order.
Of course.
Hey, you just starting chapter 2? We were past the prologue. We were in the bar.
Nah, I'll take this, Sarah. Go wipe the tables for a bit.
Do you think... Damn, do you think Ryan knows that we kill people? Probably not.
No one has sat at them since I last cleaned them. Then pretend to clean them like a normal employee. Understood.
Understood with a big smile. What's got you so tense?
Take a wild guess.
Did Sarah ask for a raise?
Be serious, Red. What happened last night?
Oh, I think he knows. Your information was accurate, for the most part. A pod of mid-level blue bloods had it. Seems like they were told to sit on it.
And were they willing to sell?
Nope. Laughed at my price, called me spoiled Meg, and kicked my butt out the door.
They weren't curious where you got your information from.
Honestly, no. They rushed me out of there pretty fast once they heard my offer.
Were they expecting more company?
I got the impression they had work to get back to.
Okay. Anything else I should know?
I'm the heartbreak killer. I mean, no.
Anything you want to ask me? How did you two meet?
with the big sparkles in her eye. How did you two meet?
The tables. On my second day, you told me not to overpolish them in order to keep things lo-fi. Lo-fi. Is it that inappropriate of a question? You've lived in the city for decades, boss, but Adonai didn't move here until after she started her apprenticeship at Masters, and
If you're gonna tell people my whole life story at every possible opportunity, I'll just shred my resume and start mailing you around instead.
how we met, huh? Well, met stories.
Not very good. I'll skip to the end and cut to the heart of our relationship, Sarah. I pay Reinhardt a finder's fee, and he tells me where I can get into high-stakes poker games. It's not a lie. Now you know my terrible secret. Disappointed?
It's not illegal to gamble.
I don't go on my phone and wager my paycheck stubs on point spreads. I gamble. And since I can't afford the entrance fee for one of those anonymous masked ball Cult 5 blimp casinos the rich go to, I count to your boss here to find me tables to play at.
Guilty. So you travel to the lower wards to gamble illegally. Truth be told, I've had my suspicions. Seeing you go out at such odd hours, without so much as your phone.
You gonna turn me in? Customer. Is it Reyes?
Irashai. Or is it more firm? Irashai.
Two firm-looking men in finely pressed black suits, with shades tinted so dark they must need modded eyes to see from behind them. Despite the subtle color palette, they stand out. It's hard not to in clothes that look that expensive. Clothes with some kind of pin on them. Matching pins. More emphasis
on the... Sorry, if you want to do it.
There's two. We can see if he split.
I'll do the noir.
More emphasis on the raw.
Oh, thank you. Think I just heard the delivery drones bumping around outside, Sarah. Would you check out the back? Your vintages might have arrived.
Go on.
Please, excuse me then. Afternoon then, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Mr. Diamani.
Pardon us for dropping in without first making an appointment.
No trouble at all. Still getting the place cleaned up. I'm awfully embarrassed that I failed to realize the property lay within your borders. If you'd come with me to the back, I'd be happy to settle whatever debt. We look like petty landlords to you. If you owed us tribute, you'd know it by now. My mistake. Well, if you're here for information, I'll gladly wheel and deal. How about you...
We're not here to shop either. We're here looking for Morgan.
Well...
That name ring any bells, Mr. Diamani?
Right. Listen, boys. I'm not sure.
Sorry. Had something blaring in my earbud. I'm A. Morgan, Esquire, specifically. How can I be of service? I mostly practice criminal defense, but I do offer a few other services. You two look corporate. I can recommend some good workplace attorneys. I got a business card somewhere. We're not interested in that. Of course not. Well, I'm flattered you'd come all the way here to find me. You must have already tried the home office. We can set something up for...
You need to come with us now, ma'am. Hey, I thought you said there was nothing I needed to know.
Business day's over for me, gentlemen. Can this wait until tomorrow? Does it look like it can? Great manners, this one. Time sensitive then. My rate will have to reflect that.
Send us the bill.
We can afford it. Music to any lawyer's ears. So, who is we then? You think you're funny? Compared to you.
Morgan? These fine gentlemen are from House Icaria.
I'm familiar.
You are?
I've seen their name in the papers. Plastering their name all over uptown opera houses and homes for the sick or whatever. Though I didn't recognize that name when those blue bloods were cursing it last night, so maybe that propaganda's working.
Doesn't matter how generous they are at galas. They're still the richest and most powerful criminal organization in the city.
Rich and powerful. Why bother with the criminal qualifier?
Sorry. Might I ask about the nature of this engagement?
The situation is developing, Mr. Diamani. We appreciate your patience.
It's not what you want to hear.
So I gathered. Gotta say that this episode is funnier than the others, but I find dramatic irony hilarious. Yeah, the writing in this has been amazing.
Your presence has been requested at the family estate, ma'am.
For business or...
The Icaria are always business.
Shall we get you your coat? Such gentlemen! No, those suits weren't just for show. I can see myself out just fine, though.
Adonai? What's going on? Are you going somewhere?
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
These men are very athletic. But perhaps I should come with you.
If they want to arm wrestle, you'll be the first to know.
Call me when you get there. Yeah.
Martin already done so much. Yeah. If I'm actually in danger, I won't even be conscious when I arrive, but I appreciate the thought. Oh, wait a second. I just realized something.
Mm-hmm.
There. Make myself slightly bigger.
Good. Boss? Who were those men? Really? New clients for Morgan. Really? Hopefully. Hopefully? Yeah, hopefully. Because if House Icaria puts her on retainer, she'll be able to buy you as much wine as you like.
So much wine.
But what do you mean by House.
Gregory House.
Dr. House. All right. Pay attention. If I'm gonna lecture, might as well try to teach. Start with ice. You want a lot of it, but low surface area, so never use crushed, okay? Starts to melt into the liquor, waters the whole thing down. Understood. 1.5 ounces of vodka. And what do we look for in a good vodka? Smoothness. Correct. It's the mark of quality, making the bitter go down easy. So, the nobility. You know who that is? Historically, the ruling class, as enforced through economic or military might and maintained by familial relations.
Oh, the dog's barking. Probably at her uncle.
Juice of a full lime. Look for a little spring and a consistent color across the skin. Nobility. Old money is another word for it. And the older it is, the slower it moves.
Old money. Old as balls.
Only so much wealth you could accrue in one lifetime, collecting from serfs and selling horses.
Horses?
We're getting into the Uma lore. But the Industrial Revolution comes along, shows the world what real wealth acquisition looks like. Then you get new money.
Damn.
Which always dwarfs old money. Inflation and split inheritances shave away at any generational wealth that's liquid. Now, new money and old money, they don't like each other.
Unsurprising.
Doesn't new money eventually become old money? If the old money can help it, no one ever becomes old money. Triple sec, 1 ounce. My family was new money. Tried to make the transition. Join the right clubs, shake the right hands, make the right marriages. Laugh at the bad jokes. Bad jokes can be entertaining in their own right. Not the kind of bad I'm talking about. I don't understand.
I'm talking Dane Cook levels of bad jokes, Sarah.
I'm talking jokes that are just dog shit. Like, there's not even any point in hearing them.
Basically any line from any Adam Sandler movie, Sarah.
If they attended the Ridya Comedy Festival, they're a bad joke of this caliber. I actually don't know if I pronounced the festival name.
The guy who plays Kramer and Seinfeld at Laugh Factory levels of bad, Sarah.
That's alright. You shouldn't need to know. But what do you mean your family was new money?
Was.
Times changed. About 30 years ago, recession, depression, civil unrest, political upheaval. Puts on April by Sublime. Most people, they were so scared they could barely think about tomorrow, let alone next year. But a decent man's chaos is a cruel man's investment opportunity. So while everyone else was panic selling off everything they could to buy food and water, a certain type of personality was buying. For pennies on the dollar, as it were. Give me a peel from that line. As shallow as possible. Any white you see is just bitter. 1 ounce of gin. They were rough years, but they passed. And at the end of it all, some were left standing with a lot more than they came in with. New money. A new kind of new money. The new nobility. Neobility, if you're writing a think piece. Unabashed oligarchs and devourer barons. When the governments of the world tried to re-privatize the industries they had taken over with emergency powers, they were there to snatch them. And they started at the bottom. Steel, fuel, grain, machine parts, medicine. Here enters House Ikaria. Or, that's how they exited. They went into the Red Decade as the Ikaria Cartel. Drug smugglers and extortionists. Thieves and murderers. They came out as one of the richest, most respectable names in the country. Not that they actually stopped doing any of that thieving and murdering, mind you. Put the top on tight and then shake. So they are a crime family, like the mob. This is the 21st century, kid. It's muddier than that. House Ikaria is not literally one family, not even one race or creed. They're simply the strongest criminal organization in the city, on paper. But not in practice. Practice is what they're lacking. Haven't had to get their hands dirty, haven't had to maintain a presence in the lower wards in years. They make their profits from investments, blackmail, and more than a little insider trading. So they're criminal, yes, but their muscles atrophied. Time for a taste test. That's not right at all. The hell did I forget?
Simple syrup?
Boss? There must have been other criminal organizations 30 years ago. Others poised to take advantage of the changing times. Yeah. So, what did the Ikaria do to set themselves apart from the rest back then? Stupid. Most important ingredient.
What?
G/blood.
Oh.
Grenadine. The Lady Maria. Ooh. It's beautiful. This is nothing. We'd use a frosted glass if this was for a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. If you do end up helping Red work with the Ikaria, don't let the warmth of their golden furnishings confuse you, though. All that glitters is gold.
Like the song. All
Go
that
get some more water.
glitters is gold. Bing, bing, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I'll take over. Oh, but it looks like Morgan time anyway. Love comparing grenade with blood. Yeah, it rules. Oh, it's the garden pond from Air the Sonia Files. It was a quiet and uneventful drive in the back of the limousine. The privacy, at least, was nice. But with Abbott and Costello riding the front, I had no way of getting information out of them, not even passively. So instead, I spent the whole ride trying to play out all the different ways that this could go. I haven't liked any of them so far. I suppose I should have felt relief or gratitude when we pulled up outside an imposing skyscraper instead of an alley. I suppose it's a good sign that no one's put a bag over my head or stuck a needle in my neck. But I don't feel like celebrating. For all I know, they really don't have a clue about what I did in the lower wards last night. But for some reason, they've placed their attention on me. And there's little I hate more than unwanted advances. I'm also not a fan of being made to wait. Why am I just sitting out here? In here?
We were too late.
Oh, you're back. Hi.
Yeah, I just got back.
Only by a few minutes.
He filled the time slot.
Already? We've got no chance of...
Maybe if his other meeting went well.
Are we on hold, gentlemen? In the world's most expensive waiting room?
Quiet.
I take it he's glaring at me behind those lenses, but I'm more interested in the sweat glistening on his forehead. Somehow of the three of us, I'm the most relaxed. This is becoming embarrassing. Can I at least take in the view while we're here? You can take photos if you like, so long as you're quiet. Really? No, your phone won't work in here. Go figure. Wait, you're lying. I can still pull up and click on things. Stupid. Metahexfenolil is an illegal stimulant sold in the black markets as a recreational blah blah blah. Possession, production of, use of, or trafficking of metahexafenolil is a crime, even when a drug is legalized. Previous violations of narcotic laws are not granted amnesty. It's a drug that'll become legal soon, probably. Neat. Go figure. Is it trying too hard to look unconcerned if I sit down and start reading the news? Maybe. But my boredom outweighs my apprehension at the moment. Not my fault that they fail to be sufficiently intimidating. That's a lot to read. Bray, you're up.
Hey. Yeah, let me get some water. Okay. PSS propositions City ahead of next month's convention. Next month, the city will play host to one of the most competitive political conventions in recent memory, with Senator Mathings expected to face significant opposition from party outliers before securing his nomination. But while the broader nation eagerly anticipates the oncoming political circus, city officials are already under fire for a supposed lack of sufficient convention security. The city has already approved a record-high monthly budget for the police department, including fully unrestricted overtime for officers of all ranks. But a coalition of private security services, including White Adder, Fang, and Demico, has released a press statement urging City Council to consider contracting their services ahead of the convention. Heartbreak was bad enough. Now we're hearing that cops are dying in the lower wards. When our city officials going to say enough is enough, said Demico head of press relations Arthur Gall. We have the utmost respect for all first responders. None of us are blaming the hardworking police for these failures. How could they succeed when political insiders insist that they try to apprehend criminals with one hand tied behind their back? Our contracted forces have world-class training in crowd pacification, preemptive de-escalation, and enhanced interrogation tactics. And any of the subhuman scum who emphasize with anarchists won't dare to leave their mother's basements once we can get our boots on the ground. That's a guarantee.
Wow.
City Council... Yeah. Wow. City Council declined to comment when we reached out to them to ask whether they would be issuing a request for proposals on such services. The total city population is expected to swell next month as the national political spotlight draws lobbyists, delegates, political action committees, and voters ahead of the two-week-long process. Could you scroll down? Thank you. Most of the community members we spoke to expressed optimism about the increase in economic activity and tourism the convention is expected to bring, but some who refused to give us their permission to publish their identifying info rudely and loudly voiced their criticism. 2 weeks for a convention when the nominee was decided 2 years ago? It's a joke, and we're the punchline. Footing the bill to pay cops to stand around outside parties full of thousands of do-nothing staffers and campaign managers. This article is presented to you advertiser free thanks to the contributions of our generous donors, including Daniel Mass of the Daniel Mass Foundation, Rebecca E. Jones of the Rebecca E. Jones Foundation, Jessica and Ronald McGuile of the McGuile Foundation for the Arts and Sciences, the Rockford Fund for Public Broadcasting, and readers like you. Thank you. Please sign in to read the rest.
I suppose it's less offensive than a bear advertising or a paywall, but why list your donors mid-article? All it does is make my eyes glaze over. Yeah, tell me about it. Mine did too. Whatever, I got the important part. The city's hosting that convention next month, putting pressure on the council to vote on hiring mercenaries.
Yeah, because they already know who the candidate is.
Whether or not to bring in private security contractors on top of the massive policing budget. It makes little difference to me. Cops and mercs have different quirks, but they all share the same blind spots. I'll be just fine. How the average law-abiding citizen will put up with him clogging the streets for 2 weeks, though. Not like it'll be the least popular political decision made next month. Everyone knows Mathing will be the candidate. That was decided years ago. The contested convention will just be him finding a balance between how much public opposition he's willing to stomach against how many favors he feels like giving out. This country's already circus without any bread. You'd think the least I could do is make the performances entertaining. What was that in the article about cops dying in the lower wards anyway? Pretty heavy hand to just make up that kind of thing, even when pearl clutching and pitching yourself at the same time. Yeah, that's... hey, I'll always give cheers to officers dying. Am I right? Cheers, I'll drink to that, brother. The illusion isn't unimpressive, I guess. Windows into the heavens sparkling like raindrops across a puddle. It might even be appealing if it wasn't trying to be something it's not. You look up and see the hexagons above you in the lower wards too. Rich or poor, people just can't imagine themselves under an open sky anymore. Not even in their wildest dreams. Go fish? If I weren't hyper aware of the flickering sky hanging over my head, this could make for a lovely watering hole. But those probably aren't even real fish down there. Literal children are capable of keeping goldfish alive, so of course the 0.1%ers can't manage it. Maybe they'd spin it. When their pallid bodies float to the top because some idiot raised the water temperature 2 degrees, they'd certainly be easy to scoop out. If you're an impatient, undignified idiot, you could argue that's an efficient way to fish. Well, I've looked around at everything that caught my eye. Now I'm all out of ideas. Everything except... Maybe they don't know we're here. I'm gonna try knocking.
What are you... Hey!
Before I get the chance, creaking oak draws my attention to an alternate entrance on the other side of the water. It's Colonel Sanders.
What the Kentucky Fried Fuck is this? Stop staring and get a move on.
If that's the kind of man walking out of this place, who's waiting for me inside? Ugh. 4:09 p.m., August 14th, 2086. Ikaria Tower, residential floors. Grand Hall. Excuse me. You're welcome. Pomp and circumstance, ceremony and ritual. For some reason I thought that the Mafia of all people would be a little more efficient in their execution. A little more honest about what they are. Evidently not. Artifice with every glance. Costumes and makeup abound. Is this disappointment? That even here, in the supposed bowels of the underworld, there's no escaping the etiquette of it all? She's the one?
Doesn't look like much.
Huh? Suddenly, their posture stiffens even further. A true feat. The necks subtly turn to a pair of doors in the back, each of them attuned to some signal I'm not receiving.
Be still. Young master returns.
Oh, this door animation. Short! Big ass forehead. Why are you dressed like a Hufflepuff? Are you a transphobe?
So, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Do you want to voice the young boy who is insufferable and annoying and prepubescent, or should I do that?
Can you do annoying, insufferable, prepubescent boy?
I can try. You're late.
Hold on. Wait.
Young master, sir.
Everyone slow down. We came as soon as we found her, sir. Traffic was... This is just some... This is just some sassy lost child.
Silence.
Yes, sir.
What time were you told to return by? 4 o'clock, sir. And what time is it now? Permission to check my phone. You're late. You were tasked with finding one woman and bringing her here in a timely manner.
I can only keep my boner for so long. Gosh! Wait, we're supposed to find a prostitute? We're supposed to find a lawyer or a prostitute? Sir,
You'll speak when I tell you to, and not one word further. Otherwise, I'll have your teeth removed.
What a brat.
By way of curbside.
Is this a prank? Am I being recorded?
He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. So says Sun Tzu.
Please let this be a prank.
Sun Tzu said that, and that's why whenever there was more than 2 animals in one place, they call it a zoo.
Unless it's a farm!
And I don't think you can fathom the cost your tardiness has incurred.
If the lead up to my execution is some kid reading from Art of War, I might just blow my knife out.
What is the #1 rule in this family?
Timeliness, sir.
When money gets wasted, it can be replaced. But time only goes one way. It's always running out.
And you're making it run out by being with this overblown bratty speech.
The loss is permanent. Every second wasted is a scar on this house's face. Timeliness is next to godliness.
Oh my god, kid, shut up!
So say I.
Oh god.
So if you two ever waste my time, the house's time again, expect to be dragged through hell.
I'm already there.
Now both of you, get out.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Useless. You, Red Woman, you're being addressed.
Forget pride. I just want this over with as fast as possible.
You're the lawyer, correct?
Sucker's taking notes. No, please don't. If Sucker
you think
gets
he writes in that book?
No, I doubt he even knows how to read. He's just trying to look impressive. If Sucker gets this bad, I'll just drive my nails through her chest in 2 seconds.
Turned into a witch sacrifice. You may answer.
As fast as possible. I'm a lawyer. Morgan, criminal defense. Mr. Alright, couldn't tell if he had legs or not, if he was just a floating torso. How should I address you?
As all outsiders do, by my name. Makoto, of House Ikaria.
Oh, don't worry, she won't get this bad. Concerning.
It would take multiple things wrong with someone to end up like Makoto.
There are multiple things wrong with Sucker. Makoto Ikaria, February 27th. That's the same day as my sister's birthday. Now I hate them even more. Wait, such impudence. Blood type A-. Occupation student. Likes biographies, shogi, amber. Dislikes tardiness, tarnish, group assignments. Favorite figures: Saladin, Sun Tzu, Hannibal. Okay. Alright, this kid really is just Sucker. My favorite...
No, look at the last one.
Favorite phrase: Vae victis, literally, woe to the conquered. Relaxes by building and painting models. Favorite figures: one of them's a fictional cannibal. Yeah, this is Sucker. Disgusting.
Makoto's favorite figure is just like a bunch of the G-Wing character pilots. Not even the mechs, just the pilots.
God, his favorite Gundam Wing character is probably Wu Fei. Sad.
You, Morgan Criminal Defense, have the great honor of being summoned before me.
Oh, and he's stupid, I guess. You're stupid? You're just a little fucking idiot?
He is, in fact, 12 fucking years old. Don't bother bowing. Once you start, you'll end up prostrated all day, and we have important work to do.
Right. Out of an abundance of respect for your time, Makoto, I should let you know that I still have no idea what I'm doing here. Probably supposed to be Hannibal Barca, not Hannibal. Who the fuck is Hannibal Barca?
The guy who tried to destroy Rome with elephants. He did a pretty good job of it for a while.
Oh, that's awesome. I should have you know I still have no idea what I'm doing here.
Oh. I'll have them kneel on a bed of nails later, or some such thing. Mrs. Dufend.
Mrs. Really?
The house has need of your legal services.
Oh. Would you give me a moment to clear my throat? I need to switch gears. Un instant. Right then. So you want to hire me?
One of our own is being slandered by multiple homicide charges. You will defend him.
You want to hire me? And I'm flattered, Makoto, but did you pull my name out of a hat? Pick a random page in the phone book?
I have many books on my phone, libraries full of esoteric knowledge, spread across countless tomes.
Oh my god, he is stupid.
You will have to be more specific.
Sorry, I misspoke. What I mean is, this is House Ikaria. You must keep a small army of lawyers on retainer. Surely any of them would be happy to help you.
True. We have lawyers. Competent ones, expensive ones, and some who are both. But the best of them are all preoccupied.
That's it? They're all just preoccupied?
Preoccupied means busy.
Thanks. But I'm still not sure how my name specifically was...
Do you have a customer survey you want filled out, Mrs. Dufens? You were recommended. What does it matter how it came about?
Normally, it wouldn't matter. But when the client I'm recommended to is one of the richest, most well-connected families in the country, it gives me pause. I don't have any friends in high places. Not anymore. That makes it hard to see this as a favor. Not when my employer doesn't even know my goddamn name. Of course, my apologies.
No doubt you have other questions. Very well. I'll permit you to ask them.
Such gentlemen. I'll admit I was a little taken aback to step off an elevator into your enclosure up there.
The gardens? Yes. Our groundskeepers work hard on them.
Does the illusion of the sky come from a live recording or somewhere else? Or is it generated programmatically? That'd take quite the equation.
It is impressive, yes. As for how it works, I don't have the technical minutiae in front of me at the moment.
That's okay.
Of course it is. A lion does not concern himself with the exterior decorations of the sheep.
It's your exterior and your decorations.
What does it matter anyway? If you want the specifics so badly, I'll have one of the servants put you in contact with the contracting firm.
That's alright. Something tells me the consultation alone would break my bank account. I do appreciate the warm welcome, Makoto of House Ikaria, really. but legal consultations are usually more private than this. Are we certain we need the peanut gallery?
Let it not be said that House Ikaria is not accommodating of its guests. We're more than capable of compensating for this nut allergy you allude to.
That's so sweet of you. But do all these guards really need to be present for this conversation?
If you're referring to the additional security, it can't be helped, circumstances being what they are.
Circumstances?
And if you're referring to my retainers in general, then I suggest you step back into the garden and take a deep breath. Clearly, the city's fumes do not agree with your constitution.
What?
You must be lightheaded if you think that you're
Oh.
worthy to hold a one-on-one audience with the next head of this illustrious house.
He's a prodigy to be this insufferable at such a young age. I wasn't brought here because of what happened last night, and this is just another job. Meaning all this, starting back at the bar, this has all just been their idea of a power move. Thank you for insisting that I get to visit your estate in person. It's beautiful here.
An oasis of old-world sensibility amidst a desert of steel and neon eyesores, is what the house elders say.
I've never seen anything like it. It matches your family's reputation for class.
My family's reputation is power, not class.
I take it a step further and guess you're renowned for violence rather than power. But that's a moot point. Violence can be classy. And from how this house is talked about in the headlines I read in the drive over, nature of your family's reputation seems to vary greatly depending on who you ask. Some think you've got half the gangs in the city under your control. Others think you've left all that behind and are no worse than any other corporate family.
Are you expecting me to ask you what you think?
What I think is that I'll need some basic information if I'm to adequately defend your interests.
We're financiers.
You don't say.
Lending, investing, taking over, buying out. The Ikaria Financial Group was founded nearly 2 centuries ago. Loaning funds is high risk and high reward, but as you can see, our results speak for themselves.
Ikaria Financial Group? Fancy way of saying they got their start as mobs or loan sharks. It's not impossible to get this rich with loan sharking alone. But such unsavory work wouldn't get them into the ballrooms and boardrooms tiers of society. Gotta rip people off with mortgages to do that. Is lending the house's only income stream?
No. Through Aria, our holding company, the house controls any number of what a civilian like you might call legitimate enterprises.
Huh?
And yes, we did found the Renegan Pharmaceutical Corporation, but what's past is prologue.
Renogen? They're a drug company, one of the biggest. You're saying you've no relation to Renogen presently?
The company went public years ago, and Aria divested our shares not long after. We were given one seat on the board as a formality. That's the extent of it.
Given? Feeling like this only takes. Why is he suddenly so humble? He doesn't know the meaning of the word. If he's downplaying their pull within Renogen, then the house must have a reason to want to distance himself from the company. You're being very modest, Makoto, and more than a little vague.
It's only polite.
It's unnecessary talking to your lawyer.
You aren't my lawyer, Mrs. Dufens, but you will be working for me. So you'll have to become accustomed to putting your needs second.
He's deflecting, and he's trying to be subtle about it. He's not doing it well. I doubt it's possible a company with as big a boot heel as Renogen has no relation to anything that happened in this city, but I'll drop it for now. I'm in no rush to wade into boardroom politics again anytime soon. I'd like to know a bit more about you, actually. How long have you...
I am the only son of Raphael Ikaria, and the only grandson of Daisuke Ikaria, CEO of the Ikaria Financial Group, patriarch of this family, and chairman of the house.
I gather that those titles are all one and the same.
As one destined to succeed the headship, commanding the family's servants is my responsibility and my birthright.
I had to be in the room with this kid for 5 seconds to tell that once he takes over, this family's doomed and all its money. He's just a idiot who knows nothing but being pampered.
A useful idiot.
He's nothing but a nepo baby.
Well, here's the thing. You can put him in charge on paper, and if you ever get in trouble, you can blame it all on him, while still having the actual movers and shakers below him making all the decisions.
Yeah.
He's
and then they oust
he's the
him.
sacrificial figurehead.
And then they can oust him like Willem Dafoe in Spider-Man 1. You can't do this to me. No, but I sacrificed! Sacrifice? Kid, you don't even know how to tie your own shoes. So if one of them needs a lawyer, it falls to you?
When our loyal men, women, or their families need help, it is my solemn duty to ensure that they are taken care of.
And your age?
What a boorish question. I knew that peasants raised outside our stratus had little understanding of the finer things. But I assumed that one with the law degree would be educated enough to know what is and isn't appropriate to discuss. Just because I am younger than some does not mean I am any less capable of managing the people who work for me.
So you're like, what, 8? Actually, I'm 12, so shut the fuck up.
Does it, men?
Sir, no, sir! You definitely command their respect.
That is no coincidence. One of the most frequently noted characteristics of great men who have remained great is loyalty to their subordinates. So says George S. Patton.
Yeah, we all know what a great dude Patton was.
You think he pronounces it George's Patton or George Spatten?
George's Patton. That's so interesting.
This is an important point. Perhaps another quote is called for.
I don't think that's necessary.
I'll grant you another. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive. And unless submissive, then will be practically useless.
True. This is why the only people that Madame Sophia have punished so far are Sucker, technically. Not an official punishment, just roughed up. Smile.
So says Sun Tzu.
Back to back.
Yes, a second quotation was called for in this instance. If only to emphasize to you that no one stays useless to House Ikaria for very long. One way or another.
It's not even what we asked. Thank you for indulging my curiosity so graciously, Makoto.
Conquer the stingy through generosity. So says
Buddha.
correct. Perhaps your education is not quite as deficient as I feared. But I should make it clear in this case that I was using the quote to subtly imply that you are stingy with your own graciousness.
Got it. Yep. Shall we move on? I believe you mentioned a homicide.
Multiple homicides.
Tell me more.
My head of security was arrested by the police last night. In the lower wards. They found him brutally beaten, drugged, and tortured. And instead of bringing him straight to a hospital, they arrested him for murder. He's been framed, and you must prove his innocence.
This is such an anime moment.
You called it too.
Un instant.
Is there something wrong with your voice? Is this that peanut allergy you mentioned?
How can you be vocal dyslexic? I said gallery, not allergy. I know it's the same letters, but come on, kid. No, I just lost my train of thought for a second there. I'm not used to my luck changing this fast. One of the richest families in the city wants to pay me to prove a man's innocent of a crime I framed him for? Right then, might I ask why he was found in the lower wards? I get the impression that Ikaria territory is generally positioned more vertically.
This whole city is our territory. But it's true that our presence is felt more strongly in some areas than others. They captured him early yesterday. He was ambushed by cowards and dragged down to that Dane of a neighborhood to be tortured senselessly.
Stain. Not even the first time this has happened to her. Yep. Well, he was tortured. I can attest to that much. But I don't believe in senseless violence. There's always a purpose, and it's usually staring you in the face. People just don't like making eye contact. Do you have any idea why he was taken, or by whom?
It was the Blue Bloods. They made no effort to hide it. In a worthy opponent, I might call that commendable, but knowing them, they're just too stupid to value deniability.
I'm sure. And I'm sure there's no love lost between your groups, but kidnapping and torturing...
is beyond the pale. I agree. And the police are even worse. I expected no help from those incompetent fools. But these charges they're making, they're utterly ridiculous.
Of course they are, but don't worry,
To think they want to pin 5 murders on him.
5? Did you say 5?
And now the wrench. Yes, 5. It's absurd.
I can only take credit for 4 bodies.
Acting so high and mighty, so affronted, so eager to blame us for the death of one of their officers.
A dead cop? Is that what those mercs were advertising themselves with? Oh, that was your line, I think.
No, that was your line, 'cause she was calling back to the article she read.
Oh, right.
The one about the security companies.
Yeah. What do you mean one of their officers? Was there a UC or...
No. They made the ridiculous claim that he killed some uniform while resisting arrest. As if a member of our house would fear prison.
Should have never dared to think I got lucky here. These circumstances sound very complex, Makoto, and the police take the death of one of their own very seriously. What makes you so certain of this man's innocence?
Because this man's name is Sosuke Ikariya.
The Hound.
The Hound. I've known him all my life.
Yeah, he's probably changed your diapers, bro. All 3 or 4 years of it.
He's probably still changing them.
No,
There is no individual more honorable, more devoted, more trustworthy.
No, he ain't changing his diapers. He's changing his wet sheets in the morning because this kid still wets the bed but insists he's too old to wear diapers now.
Just throw the sheets out and buy new ones every day.
Exactly.
You can afford it. And not once have I ever known him to be
Violent?
impulsive. He didn't do this. I know he didn't do this. But proving that is your job.
About that. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, Makoto.
But you will. If for no other reason than because we shall pay you more than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
Not everything's a question of money.
Yes. Your meaning is taken. It needn't be silver and gold. You'll have no complaints with your compensation. The favor of House Ikariya can go a long way in this city. As can our wrath.
I don't appreciate being threatened. I don't find it funny, even coming from a kid. However, if the state thinks whoever killed those 4 blue bloods also killed a cop, I can't afford to sit this hand out. They'll go over every centimeter of that building. One wrong move, one hair out of place. If I lose here, I lose, period. But if I win, throwing an Ikariya-sized wallet in the pot beforehand is all upside. I understand, Makoto of House Ikariya. I'll take Sosuke's case.
Huh? You say that as if it were ever in doubt.
A true prodigy. But he might be right. Maybe it never was. I chose to put that gun into this Sosuke's hands when I could have just plunged that knife into his temple. Maybe the line drawn from that moment to the razor edge I'm walking right now is perfectly straight. A line drawn from one point to another is always perfectly straight. Better metaphor would have been a bullet's trajectory. For all the talk of wind resistance and breathing patterns and the Coriolis effect and chaos theory, you can't exactly act surprised when your shot lands right where the crosshairs were pointed. Sure, hon. Morgan's my last name, by the way, before you start writing any checks.
You should have enunciated.
You shouldn't have ear dyslexia, my dude. 4:41 p.m. In transit. Hey there, boss. Of course I'm fine. What did you think was going to happen? Yeah, all good news. I've got quite the paycheck coming my way. Maybe bad news for you if you get a large crowd tonight. Yeah, tell Sarah to meet me at the police station address I'm about to send. Mm-hmm. I've got work for her to do. There'll be quite the paycheck indeed waiting for me, assuming I can win. But can I afford to accept it? Ugh. Hey. Were any of those jokes around the office about your clients being connected to organized crime true? What? Is this some kind of honeypot? Time to get a grasp on something. Now I know you're baiting me. World's easiest, that's what she said, layup. I'll still basket that shit though, I don't give a fuck. Why do you make everything so hard? Come on. Like, come on, Freckles. Low-hanging fruit. I have no idea what you're talking about. Obviously. Are you asking me about mafia shit, though? I'm working a case for the Icaria, whom I assume you've heard of. Definitely. Under circumstances that are probably vulgar. Absolutely! Which you'd be happy to brag about to me. Anytime. But I'm not well positioned to turn down the job outright. So I'd like to know whether they'll be resistant about parting ways after. Why? Do you not like getting paid lots of money? I don't like being chained. Fair enough. So you're like, just asking for my advice? The aura loss is incredible. Not going to attempt to parse that. I doubt you ever could. My generation's sense of humor is practically impregnable. She really is a millennial.
Incredible.
It was a very basic non sequitur, Auntie. It just wasn't funny. Not even. A non sequitur would be, what's the charge? That's just getting back on topic. The charge is homicide. 5 counts. Meh. You're probably fine. All the stuff you hear about mobsters being clingy with their lawyers. It's because they don't want anyone who's been through their underwear drawers running around, telling tales. Whatever poor fucker they pinned multiple homicides on is obviously not anyone important. I don't think he was framed. Not by his own people. Nah, pinned as in stuck with. Like a chore. Powerful people. Mob or no. If they get lawyers, it's for tax evasion and conspiracy charges. Dirty work's left to the pawns. And the whole point of a pawn is you don't have to think twice about trading them off. Alright. Guess I know the rumors are true then. Yep, you uncovered my fucking secret. Listen, actors, singers, celebs, they all like expensive things and being the center of attention. God, she even sends her messages like a fucking millennial. Just makes each separate word a post instead of just putting it all together in one. Annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
I say this, I'm also guilty of doing it sometimes. Mobsters have money to burn and want the cologne of legitimacy. Everyone wants what they can't have. Okay, chill, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Great looking Gatsby ass. I still pine for thee, motherfucker. What? All I'm saying is there's mutually beneficial arrangements to be made between the rich and famous and the rich and infamous. So you bet your ass I was in those rooms, negotiating appearance fees and taking my 30%. 30%? You really are shameless. That's what she said. God, it really is like what Northern Lion said. You can't get mad. You can never get mad at kids saying 6'7" if you're still going to be the type of person who makes that's what she said jokes in your late 30s to early 40s.
Yeah.
Thanks as always for the sage counsel. Hey, if you're really feeling grateful, do me a solid and call your rents. They say they never hear from you. I know you can't be that busy. If you're bored enough to talk to me. They're the ones who are busy. July 7th, 166 centimeters. Wait, depends on the time of day. Oh, that's sexy. Occupation, lawyer to the rich and famous, semi-retired. Likes waterfalls, manicures, macadamia nuts. Dislikes getting ghosted by my adorable goddaughter. Oof. Drink, cosmopolitan, double. Collects favors, and friends in high places. Luck, SSR in the first pool. Pole. Not pool.
I mean, it could be a pole, or it could be a pool, if we're talking about, like, fishing gotcha.
A pool. Or a pool. Room Ewed. Obviously, I wasn't sure what would happen after I left that crime scene. And I wasn't sure what I'd find walking in here to speak to my client. But I definitely wouldn't have bet that the next time I saw this man alive, he'd actually look worse. Sir, why are your breasts looking so boobful? Why do you look like a really butch woman?
Well,
is there something?
You haven't seen him straight on yet.
Is there something you're hiding from your young master, little egg? Did you not hear me? I said I'm your lawyer.
Oh, I heard you. I'm just not interested in wasting my breath responding.
I'm sorry, is there a misunderstanding here?
Not at all. I understand exactly what you are. You and all your fellow...
Cleavage.
Yes. Your companion is staring at me very intently.
Sarah,
The microwave
blink.
is done.
You're embarrassing me in front of the Yakuza. Whoa! aka Aka Thug Senpai. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the coven.
That's a very dated word.
Hi, I'm your lawyer, and I hired this android to stare at you. You'd really prefer I call you an orca?
I'd prefer you give up and leave.
What are you talking?
I'm sure they told you I'd been softened up. That they'd broken me, and I'd be ready to sign whatever you put in front of me.
Oh, it was AKA? Alright. AKA Thug Senpai. What were you called beforehand before? How are you being addressed before Thug Senpai, though? Is the question. Adonai, I'm detecting remarkably high estrogen levels in this individual.
Adonai, do you see that thing on Sosuke's neck? That is the automatic estrogen distribution. Yes. It administers the titty skittles.
By the 9, I'm tweaking.
Sorry to disappoint you, but the Hound of Ikaria doesn't heal.
Oh, now they're looking very breastfully booble.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking cleavage line. Like, geez, it's like curving in from both sides. Those are 2 full moons ready to pop.
Only does pectoral exercises and nothing else. Cool.
Sosuke, I'm gonna repeat myself plainly. And slowly, because you clearly have multiple head injuries. I am not a lawyer. I am your lawyer.
Oh. Right, then. Very good. Thank you for coming.
I have a sinking suspicion that every member of this family is a fucking idiot. She should play Girlframe HRT. Calling herself the Hound. Oh my god. So true. In Girlframe, every pilot is a girl. Even if you insist you're a man, you are a girl. You are a lesbian, and your pronouns are it's. Legally not human.
Sucker, are you familiar with the meme that went around on Tumblr a couple years ago about people being cursed with prophecy by getting hit with Dionysus's dodgeball?
The prophecy of girl.
Sosuke is, unfortunately, 190% cis male. But he does have a little bit in common with puppy girls.
I mean, I've said
Apollo, thank you, not Dionysus.
Apollo's dodgeball, yeah. Right. I mean, yeah, how did I not catch that? I'm very high. Lamau, cis male, sure. How is it that every chapter of this game has a dude that's actually just a woman?
First David. We had so many of them in the prologue, and then they all died, and then we had to bring Sosuke in to replace them.
First London, then David, now Sosuke. Like, come on, you look at London and tell me that that's just not an egg. With that immaculate eyeliner? Don't think so. I don't believe for a second that guy is 100% cis.
I think that might be a dislocated eye socket, not eyeliner.
No, he's got the eyelashes. I mean,
he has the eyebrows.
London looks.
He does have eyelashes, but his eye is literally swollen.
London looks like the type of dude who could get pregnant. Is what I'm saying.
I agree with you on this. I apologize if I am misspoke just now.
I'd misspeak too if I lost as much blood as you. Closeted teeth girl detective. Call that a hard-boiled egg. Stop being funnier than me in my own Twitch chat. Morgan Esquire. I'll be representing you from here on out.
Sosuke of House Ikaria. Sarah, paralegal and bartender. You're very young to have 2 jobs, or tend bar. Well, it is only part-time. Ah, right. So, tell us, Sosuke of House Ikaria, what is your routine? You look very fit. My... what? Are you asking about... do you not have me on file? Sorry. Which firm are you from? DDD? MPM?
I'm in private practice.
You mean you're not...
A mob lawyer? No, but please don't hold it against me. Everyone has to start the path to corruption somewhere. That's not funny, Morgan.
There are serious risks involved in representing a man with my background against charges like these.
It's very sweet of you to...
They say I killed a cop, miss.
Yep.
I realize that I may look a sorry state at the moment, but I've not fallen so low that I'd sully the house's name by dragging a civilian into...
Makoto thought differently.
The young master? You've seen him. How is he? Where is he? Is he unharmed?
He was sitting pretty atop a literal throne surrounded by armed guards last time I checked.
Thank you for that. No one's told me anything, and if the young master has spoken on this matter, I won't go against his judgment. But I do hope you understand what you're getting into.
I'm already in it, Sosuke. How well I understand what I'm in is something I think you'd be able to help with.
Very well. What do you want to know?
Makoto told me this all started because you were taken captive yesterday. What happened?
It was 2 p.m. The young master had just finished a meeting with a VIP in Crane Tower, floor 108. Auspicious.
2 p.m.? He wasn't in school?
I'll ask that you refrain from mocking the young master in my presence.
Nope.
He is a child. Anyone can see that. But you have no idea the pressures that have been placed upon him.
Whatever my client wants.
As I was saying, it was just after 2 p.m. Me and the rest of my team escorted him to the elevators along our planned exit route. But our lift stopped suddenly, in between floors 61 and 62. That was when I made a mistake. I had a bad feeling. Thought it best to get Makoto to the ground floor, ASAP. So I forced the elevator open, crawled out, and pulled him out after me. But just as he got out, the elevator started up again, separating us from the rest of the guard. It was a trap.
A 50-50 one. Staying wasn't safe either, If they could stop the elevator, it's not a stretch to think they could drop it too. He just lost a coin flip when he decided to exit.
Yes, Sarah, it was a trap. Floors 60 through 70 were undergoing heavy retrofitting, and the other elevators weren't responding. Comms were jammed. I reviewed the entire building's blueprints beforehand. Not very useful information, obviously, for a floor undergoing renovations. But I knew that there was a construction elevator we could get to, on the other side of the tower. I had to act fast. There was no time to doubt myself, and I...
Mr. President, a second Yakuza family's end has hit the towers.
I did something unforgivable. I beat a civilian to death in the empty lot.
You left the kid?
I picked him up over my shoulder.
Oh god, so unforgivable.
Oh, well, that sounds like fun. House, forgive me. Everything the young master does for the sake of his name's dignity. And I...
Kids are tougher than you think. I think he'll get over it. So, you escorted him to the service elevator. I take it that's when things...
Yes. I'm sorry, but I only remember a few vague details about what happened next. But I'll tell you what little I can.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like the scar across his lip, but the busted lip's making him look very feminine. I don't know. Is that just me?
I think that might mostly be you.
Damn. Chat, how cooked am I?
After I activated the lift, two
Oh, hey.
assailants emerged from under a tarp doorway at my 7 o'clock. One tall, one thin.
Hey, those silhouettes look familiar.
Yes.
Dreaming Honu, Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good one. Oh, that reminds me, I need to add my new Christmas art to my slideshow. My slideshow, which people won't get to see until... won't only get to see on streams that aren't this game, because I have the new, of the Devil, starting soon screen. Oh well. Guess you gotta watch my other streams. Wink, nudge, nudge.
Paul was around 190 centimeters, and his weight, I'd say 100 kilograms with the mods. Thin was maybe 175, but slouched. Modded as well, but what I saw looked stripped down, so he couldn't have been heavier than 70 kilo. They had needle guns.
Oh,
Slow to
fuck.
fire and slow to take effect. A memorable choice.
God, they really were wielding Halo 2 needlers. That's insane.
Taller one shot first. Jerked his arm when he pulled the trigger. A bad habit usually favored by street slinger punks who are used to compensating for the kickback of jailbroken zippers. He might as well have been aiming at the ceiling. Thin lines his shot up properly. Laser sight dialed in on the young master's left trapezoid. I shift into a horse rider stance and deflect the needle with my weapon. The lift doors open behind me, just as another shooter steps forward at my 3 o'clock.
It's Daisuke from Mouthwashing. That's a Yosuke looking motherfucker, right?
Yeah. Or so I thought. But all they had was a laser pointer. Literally a cheap trick. but it worked. I heard a click from my 8 o'clock, turn my neck, and feel a weight punch to my deltoid. A dullish kind of pain for an instant. I realize I'm already going numb. And that's when I squeeze.
To escape from mouth watching? I guess you can tell from the face.
What face? It's gone. Squeeze?
I meant
His name's
this dude. Trey. Hey, Trey.
Mr. Trench.
Mr.
Unfortunately, had his face removed.
It was only in his neck. He's talking about his
No.
mods.
I'm talking about his face getting caved in with a baseball bat.
Oh, right. We did do that after.
Yes. Very important crime scene detail, which you're going to have to investigate again.
Unnecessary. We were there. We caused it.
Yes. But when you caused it, there wasn't a dead police officer. I squeeze. A key to type 2 external thoracic booster. Some burst strength and pain-killing capabilities, but in short, it's a reflex enhancer. Make 1 second feel like 15. In hindsight. And it makes it feel like you ran a marathon during those 15 seconds, once the kickback gets you. But I digress. I moved. Got Makoto into the elevator and wrenched the door shut myself.
Hang on.
Excuse me.
Brutal. Sorry, someone put a post in the Girlframe server with a Gundam clip in it, and I had to stop and watch.
Is it the one of the kid getting decapitated?
No, it's a POV Urizaku pilot facing against a Gundam.
Oh.
And it ends with, it's a clip from Thunderbolt, and it ends with them putting the beam saber into your chest, and then swiping it up, cutting the feed.
Yeah.
I need to watch Thunderbolt Gundam, I guess. Apparently the manga released its final chapter, like, this week. When I've seen, they showed the Zeta Gundam in it, which is cool. I like the Zeta Gundam.
Taking 3 more needles to the back in the process. I remember saliva pooling on my lip, and then cold concrete scratching my cheek.
That's cold concrete, baby. So for all I know about you is your first and last name. So far, I know.
It's a very important last name.
Yeah, I get it. You're in the family. Big deal.
But I take your meaning. And in truth, the first thing you should know is that I'm not worthy of it.
Spoken like a true hound. Why, you disqualified due to pre-existing conditions?
I was born Sosuke Ayakawa, 4th son of a distant branch family. The only reason I bear the name of Ikaria is because I was adopted into the main house as an infant in exchange for lifelong service to the main family.
So he's kind of like a Neji Hyuga. Sounds like a great deal.
Lifelong? How did you serve the Ikaria as an infant?
I made coffee and built houses.
Human shield.
There are various tax benefits if you have exactly 2 children.
Don't be absurd. I am what you call a bodyguard.
Oh, as you were right. Baby shield.
From the time I was able to walk, I was trained to be of service to the house by protecting the air with my life.
Yep, baby shield. The time you're able to walk, there are a lot of demand for toddler bodyguards.
All that's ever been asked of me is that I stand in the right place at the right time.
Baby shield.
You mean like in family photographs? Like in front of a blade. Even a child can manage that.
Say it with me, chat. Baby shield.
This is where we get into the puppy girl similarities. Dude has a lot of deprogramming that he could go through.
Or more programming.
I don't know if you could program him harder.
I could.
You can program him softer.
I
Or
could.
her softer.
I can program her harder. Don't you worry.
The house has given me everything I've ever had and taught me everything I've ever known.
So what you're saying is you're stupid. And yearning.
What meager service I can offer in return means nothing compared to the debt I owe them. You view your relationship with your family as a transaction? It is not something so cold, girl. It's a matter of loyalty.
A guy of loyalty. Right. So if you're standing before a judge and they asked you your name and occupation, you would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikaria, and I'm an eternal servant for a living."
I would say my name is Sosuke Ikaria, and I work as a head of personal security for the Ikaria Financial Group.
August 23rd, 190 centimeters, 77 kilograms, AB negative, head of personnel security, Ikaria Group, likes whetstones, paperbacks, and matcha. Dislikes the opera, wasabi, and insects. He doesn't like the opera? Loser. I was about to say your use of the word him points to an obvious path for improvement. Excuse me. Favorite author, Alexander Dumas. Coffee, Cafe Americano. At least he has good coffee taste. Default status, non-work related message will be blocked.
For context, Dumas Dumas is the person who wrote The Count of Monte Cristo and The Three Musketeers. For examples of honor and defending it.
I'm also a fan of Rocky 1. Apollo Creed, the Count of Monte Cristo, as he was nicknamed.
And what does that entail exactly?
She did the pose, chat, in her coat.
She's thinking. I'm the young master's bodyguard, and I lead all his security teams.
Nice to properly meet you.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I'm Sarah, paralegal, bartender and paralegal and bartender part-time.
I know, Sarah.
Yes, I believe you already mentioned that. It seemed like we were all doing it twice. Well, thank you for your paralegal services, Sarah.
Hey, smile. In here, I had the impression you had no sense of humor.
What do you mean? It seems in this particular instance, Adonai, it was you who misidentified his proper manners as being Sark.
Glad we've all broken the ice. Alright, Sosuke. So you were guarding Makoto. These men laid a trap, targeted him with tranks, failed. Then they take you instead?
Yes, to my great shame. You were outnumbered and ambushed, but you still managed to protect Makoto. What's there to be ashamed of? That I didn't see it coming.
You're saying this has happened before?
Dozens of attempts in the last year. Some headed off in the early stages, some sidestepped entirely, and some stepped with force. I knew their tactics, and I knew our vulnerabilities. Yet, I still failed. Sosuke, that is...
Not incorrect.
Adonai,
Am I wrong? Shouldn't a bodyguard get at least one shot off before being taken down?
shot. What do you mean, shot?
Gun.
You were not carrying a firearm. No. No one on the team has guns.
Huh. How's that?
None of us on the security team had access to firearms with us.
Didn't say the word access. But you're a gangster. Your line.
Sorry. I'm having trouble staying awake.
Uh-oh.
I'm a head of personal security for the Ikaria Financial Group.
It is almost that time that you get to bed soon, right?
Yeah.
Alright. We'll try to wrap up this conversation. Continue tomorrow.
Okay. I did read the line, though.
Yeah.
Walking onto an allied group's property armed to the teeth insults their hospitality and makes the house look insecure or worse. Impotent.
And I'm not a security expert, but I do think there's some gray area between armed to the teeth and empty-handed. I mean, didn't you just say you deflected their attack?
I was not defenseless just because I wasn't carrying a gun.
Oh?
I had my sword.
Oh, you're one of those people. Okay. So lame.
So cool.
You walk around town with what? A samurai sword?
You just assume that it's a katana.
Is it?
Yes. It is a signifier of my position within the house, and shows that I am acting as a representative of it. Is it ceremonial, then? No, it is quite sharp.
I can attest to that.
Though it's probably in terrible condition by now, seeing how the city's police manhandle everything else they touch.
Speaking of which, perhaps we should move on to the night's main events. They tried for Makoto, got you instead, and took you to the lower wards. Why?
I've been wondering that myself. Aren't you essentially worthless?
Harsh words, Sarah. Oh! Sorry, I read that line for you.
There isn't anything to read. We have the sound effects and everything.
As a hostage, she means.
I know that.
No, Sarah was right, though. You're worthless. You're just a hound after all.
Thinking back, I was surprised myself to wake up at all, let alone in captivity. But it seems they had questions they wanted to ask me.
What do you remember?
Whatever they used on me, I can remember some things, but...
Squeaky arm.
How much of it was real, what order it happened in, it's all...
Just say whatever comes to mind. It can be anything. Sights, smells, voices. There's no wrong answers.
I was bound, my wrists bound above my head, tied to something that smelled like iron and rattled like old iron.
How perceptive.
Tiles beneath my feet, some kind of bathroom or decontamination area.
Good guess.
They asked me questions. I said things. Loose lipped, like being drunk for the first time again. But I'm confident that other than vulgarities, it was all incoherent. Because there were shocks, the taste of blood. I must have bit my tongue during the spasms. And there were beatings, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Adonai, do you need corrective lenses? Or would you be too irresistible with glasses?
Yeah, probably absolutely. Sarcasm is just how I grieve a lost opportunity, Sarah.
Lost opportunity?
Yeah, it's a damn shame. From what I can see of it, a pretty face like yours would go a long way with the jury if it wasn't pulverized.
Ridiculous. You can't see he's blushing under the bruises.
Is he blushing?
I agree about his face, Adonai, but I don't believe it is his only strong feature. Let us move on.
Really?
Well, in that case...
Really? You do not want me to talk about your big mommy milkers?
That's where he stores all of the combat drugs.
That's where he stores all his loyalty.
How did your captivity end? Do you recall escaping? I think here would be a good spot to stop.
Okay.
There's still quite a bit more talking here with Sosuke.
Fair.
But we've kind of covered. We've got to a good stopping point with him.
Yeah. We will pick this up tomorrow when I'm done with work. Because some reason they gave me this day off and ensured I worked every other day before and after. Amazing. Anyway, thanks for joining me in this very impromptu stream, Bray. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate everyone who showed up again and even followed. It was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you found time away from the holidays to hang out with little ol' me. Well, big ol' me, I guess. Teehee. This also means I get to write out twice in one day. How fun.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I'm just that skilled. I'm gonna read you To Another Witch. One very mushroomy witch by the name of Rio Ann. She streams neat stuff like Hades 2 and like little shop managing simulator games that are very cute. You should go foraging in her forest. You might find something neat and maybe throw a potion at her face too. In the meantime, you can find all the links on my socials below. Follow me on Blue Sky, Tumblr if you want. Subscribe to my VOD channel where this video and the previous will be going up soon. And maybe join my public Discord. You have 2 days to verify yourself or else you get the boot because I don't like stragglers or people who clearly don't know how to read. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.